So, you've just started a co-op program at Conestoga College. The whole process and the idea of co-op itself may seem daunting right now, but this video is here to tell you what you need to know to get started and to give you the resources you need to guide you through the process. Conestoga College offers degree, diploma, and certificate programs with many that integrate co-op. Professional and experienced staff offer job development and career preparation support every step of the way. But first things first, what is co-op? Co-op is a partnership between the college, the student, and the employment community. It uses a teamwork approach to combine academic study and work experience. You take what you learn from in-class terms and apply those skills in the workplace at a position related to your field of study. Alternating between school and work, co-op work terms last between 4 to 16 months and allow you to explore new work environments and find out what kinds of jobs you enjoy doing. Most co-op work terms pay you for your time, which is a great way to save or help pay off your tuition while gaining valuable work experience. But don't just take my word for it. Thousands of students have graduated from co-op programs at Conestoga College. We asked them a few questions about their experiences and any advice they had for students new to the co-op program.
I worked at TriMet Group in Elmira, and I was a mechanical designer for their company. So I found it on my career, and I applied to it with a cover letter and a resume. I learned a lot about professional office working. So I got to, my past experience in retail was a lot of you're on your own and you're trying to sell stuff to customers, or it's just the store you work for. But in an engineering office, it's really a big group effort, and I got to learn how to work with everybody and how to ask a lot of questions to try and figure out all this stuff that I'm learning, because there's a lot to learn. My key takeaway was learning about the industry and learning about how everyone uses all the different programs and all the different things we learn in school. So a lot of the time I use SOLIDWORKS all day, and by using that I got to really improve my skills doing 3D solid modeling and solid modeling. And so I took away a lot of skills that helped me in the course we have now with doing 3D rendering and designs and that kind of stuff. And a lot of it was problem solving. My first co-op term I applied to 36, that's total in my career and outside. I had, 5 interviews and 2 offers. A lot of my preparation I did was writing a lot of cover letters and resumes. Every time I wrote a new one for a new application, I got to work on how I word everything a little bit better. And the CDEV course helped a lot with that, because I got to really refine my my cover letters and my resume. So I thought they were good. Like, it worked for me with other jobs in the past, but there are tiny little details that I learned to fix, and that helped. That really helped.
My work term was at Communitech, and my role was a media relations coordinator. I found the job through networking. I just reached out to a bunch of different people who I was interested in what they were doing professionally, and found the job that way. My work term prepared me for the real world by pretty much putting me into situations that you wouldn't necessarily learn in the classroom otherwise. So you do have that actual hands-on experience and really enjoy what you do every day, and you get to bring that back to you to school. I think the thing that surprised me most about the work term was the amount of actual work that they are willing to give you. So I was kind of hesitant going into it, thinking I'm just a co-op student, I'm probably just going to be sitting at a desk every day answering emails or compiling lists and not actually contributing to real work. But that wasn't the case. I was actually handed tasks that actually mattered to the organization, and I felt like an actual employee. I prepared for my work term by going to a bunch of different events and just putting myself out there and making it known that I was looking for a position out in the community. I think that that's one of the most important things that students can do, is to not just sit behind the computer and write off resumes, is to actually physically go and create a name for yourself.
I did my co-op work term with Loblaw Companies in Brampton, Ontario. I was at their head office. My position title was marketing intern in the customer experience department, specifically for the Pan Am Games. I've realized that coming out of school, you do know a lot, but going into industry and real world, that there's still so much to learn, and that you do have to start at the bottom in order to work your way up. Throughout the process and my work term there, I was specifically in the marketing department working on the Pan Am Games sponsorship. And throughout that, I got to travel around Ontario, all the way from Orillia to Windsor, and I got to meet all of the customers that interact with the Loblaw brand, the President's Choice brand, and I also got to carry the torch on the Pan Am Torch Relay, which was a very interesting experience. My favorite part of my co-op work term was honestly the networking with the people that I met. I've met some amazing people, from Galen Weston all the way just to my director. They're everyday, genuine human beings, and the fact that I got to sit down with one of the presidents of the company or the senior directors and just have a conversation with them about the job was very interesting. I prepped day and night for my interview. Again, I did network and find the position myself, but many revisions of my resume, many mock interviews with my profs, with my co-op advisors, day and night thinking about it, and then when the day came, it was way more relaxed than I thought it was going to be, and obviously very rewarding because I got the position.
Worked in a BlackBerry. My position was a hardware verification test specialist. My favorite moment about this one, about my co-op, was when it dropped some of my expectations that I had about this, and I mean like bad expectation. I thought when I'm going to go as a co-op, as an internship person, what will happen, I'm going to have some small minuscule job that only interns do or co-ops do. That's not how it is, and I spoke with other people about it too. When you're going for a co-op and internship, you do a full-time job, whatever other full-time employee is doing, right? And that was my biggest, the best experience actually getting out of that one. That I actually was involved in so many projects, and actually meaningful projects, not just, bring a coffee or make a sandwich, right? Yeah. Talking with other people that already went through that process is a big thing, right? My philosophy is that if you don't know what to ask for, you're never going to get an answer, right? And sometimes the co-op advisor can tell you, helped us a lot, right, with the preparation, with the emails and mock-up interviews and stuff like that. But you really, really want to prepare yourself for the culture of the company that you're going to, like a corporate culture, for example.
I did my co-op at Paradigm Electronics. We're a high-end speaker manufacturer, and I started out as a business analyst, and I'm now their demand planner. I found it through networks that I had from my first co-op. I met certain people that had then left that placement and moved on to different jobs, and then they were looking for somebody else. They reached out to me, contacted me, and asked me if I was interested. So I ended up just through my network finding my own co-op position. Mainly, my co-op advisor talked to us through email, which was really beneficial because I'm in my co-op in Mississauga, so I'm not often in Kitchener. But there were some times where I had questions or concerns, and she was always available for me to come in and drop in, ask a couple questions, and go from there. It's definitely impacted my long-term goals. I have some ideas now where I really excel. I've always been good at school, any type of school, so trying to figure out really what I wanted to do has been really difficult for me. But through co-op, being in the real world, I definitely got a sense of what I'm very good at when I'm out in the real world.
I'm from Kenya, and I moved here in September 2013. I worked at the Fairmont Banff Springs for 5 months. That's obviously out west. And my position was a Royal Service agent, which is basically I answered the phone, whoever called in the hotel, out of the hotel, like from the rooms, people who called from outside the hotel wanting to book a room, things like that, they would get me first. I didn't know necessarily that I wanted to be in the hospitality industry, but there's always a part of me that loved the experience of a hotel and like things like that. And working at such a high-end hotel, such a large property during the summer when it's obviously the busiest time, it just made me want to do that more in the future. Like my goal is to work for a high-end hotel, probably one day become a general manager. I have big hopes. But yeah, it actually just made me more focused towards it, which is really good. I didn't have one favorite moment, but it would probably be just the guest experiences. You know, when they give feedback and then we all get the feedback after that, and it's honestly just something that makes you smile, that you contributed to someone actually had a moment that turned into a memory.
Want to find out more about specific co-op programs and how to apply? The Conestoga website contains program handbooks that provide details about each co-op program, their admission requirements, number of work terms, between 1 and 4 depending on the program, and the academic eligibility requirements needed to participate in the work terms. Keep in mind that once you are enrolled in a co-op program, you must still maintain these academic standards in order to remain in the program and be eligible for your next work term. This policy is to ensure that students are prepared to perform to the best of their abilities while in the work field. How can you make sure you're successful in your co-op program? It's easy. Just follow these 4 steps. The first step is to pass the co-op and career preparation course and maintain the academic eligibility requirements set out for your program. The eligibility requirements can be found on the college website in the program handbooks and on My Career, and are addressed during the co-op and career preparation course. The second step is to secure an approved co-op position. The co-op office needs to know your plans during the job search term, so keep your advisor up to date. Co-op jobs are posted on My Career 1 semester prior to the work term. The third step is to complete and submit a work term record online, which outlines the responsibilities of the position, start and end dates for the work term, and wages. The final step is to complete the work term reporting course in eConestoga for each work term. You will need to fulfill your required hours and weeks, along with the completion of work term reporting, to earn a co-op work term credit. If you're still confused about how co-op works, you're not alone. Here are some frequently asked questions to help prepare you for the process.
How much will I get paid when I'm in co-op?
Wages are typically pre-established by the employer, but are sometimes negotiated at the time of the job offer. Co-op students are expected to be flexible concerning wages and approach the work term as a learning experience, not as a money-making venture.
Will I have to move to get a job?
Students are expected to consider out-of-town opportunities with the possibility of relocating or commuting to increase their employment prospects. Students who open up their job search to include several different communities meet with greater success earlier on in their job search.
When is the last day I can find a job?
For most programs, you will have a few weeks into the work term to secure employment and still have enough hours to fulfill the co-op requirements. If you have any questions, contact your co-op advisor. Make sure you know the co-op deadline date. Don't assume.
How many hours do I need to get my credit?
The hours required for co-op vary, but can be found on the college website in the program handbooks for each co-op program. If you have any questions about the hours needed, check with your advisor. Even if you reach the required number of hours before the end of your co-op semester, you must fulfill your commitment to the employer. Leaving your work term before the finish date will result in a failed work term.
What happens if I don't get a job for my work term?
Co-op work terms are to be treated like any other course within your program. They're not optional. Students are required to actively search and compete for co-op jobs for every co-op term in their program. There are limited seats in the co-op program, so competition can be tough. Sometimes, however, circumstances beyond our control can make securing employment very challenging. One work term only can be deferred until the end of academics. This could delay graduation by a year. That's why it's critical to work hard to secure co-op employment for each work term.
Can I find my own co-op job?
Yes, along with applying to co-op opportunities posted on My Career, students are expected to conduct an independent job search. Employment statistics suggest that a large number of hires are never formally posted. These jobs are considered part of the hidden job market. An independent job search will help connect you to this market and accelerate your success. The co-op office will help you by providing program-specific marketing materials, job search strategies, along with follow-up support once you have made a connection with a prospective employer.
I'm an international student. Is there anything I need to do so I can work legally here in Canada?
International students must have a valid co-op work permit before they begin a co-op work term. Processing times can often be delayed and take several months. Please apply as soon as you are admitted to a co-op program and follow the instructions provided by International Student Services and your co-op advisor. Still have questions? Conestoga College has a number of friendly and knowledgeable staff that want to help you do the best you can. Each co-op student is assigned a co-op advisor. Your advisor is your primary contact throughout the entire co-op cycle. Employment advisors are available to meet one-on-one with students to review job search documents and help students plan and execute a targeted job search. They also facilitate the co-op and career preparation course that all students are required to complete prior to the first work term. This online course is specifically designed to help students create professional cover letters and resumes, develop successful job search strategies, and practice job interview skills. Your advisor offers ongoing support throughout the work term by maintaining contact with students and evaluating and providing feedback for their online work term reporting. Employer relations consultants work directly with employers to market Conestoga College programs and generate job opportunities for co-op students, non-co-op students, and graduates. The employment officer is a liaison between the employer and the student throughout the job posting process. They work primarily with My Career, where students view and apply for department-generated co-op jobs. My Career is accessed through the student portal and is not limited to co-op jobs. It's a valuable tool for all students who are seeking employment and career-related resources. Everyone involved in the co-op process wants you to succeed, and Conestoga College gives you the tools you need through the preparation course, helpful staff, and My Career to help you in any way they can. So we wish you the best of luck on your journey, and to send you off, here are some final pieces of advice.
Be involved in everything. Be as involved as you can in school, in your classes. Making those impressions really matters, and having that network matters.
Don't solely rely on My Career. It is a very useful tool and will help you drastically. But get out there and network in the community and leverage your contacts to see who they can put you into contact with in order to do some interviews outside of the school and, like me, land a position that you never thought was really possible.
Please remember that you're a representative of your college and your program.
I would start early. Start applying to jobs the moment they're up, and don't get behind on them. You may think it's too late to apply to one just because it's 10 at night and the job and the deadline ends that night. Just do it. It takes 10 minutes to do it, and just apply to as many as you can.
Applying to co-op jobs is a competitive process. The co-op office can't guarantee that each student will get a co-op job. So do your research, start your My Career job search early, and stay connected to your resources.